Afternoon. The first priority of this government, of any government, is the security and safety of the British people, to defend the national interest, particularly.
Hey, so today we're gonna do this quick reaction about this goofball over here from England. They had this defense summit in I assume London. Somehow they come up with some plans and all that. So we're gonna listen to
in these volatile times. That's why last week I announced the biggest sustained increase in defense spending since the Cold War. That's also why I met President Trump last week, to strengthen our relationship with America, and indispensable partners in defense and security.
Well, it's indispensable. Well, but like I said yesterday, like they're disassociating themselves from you. So now you're left alone. I mean, what are you gonna do right now? I mean, they're throwing Ukraine under the bus, and this whole convention or whatever speeches and talks they had today, all of it was about Ukraine. So now you're stuck alone. And I don't know how you're going to deal with that, but I'm willing to listen a little bit. I mean, I already watched the video, but...
and it's why this weekend I've been hosting European leaders here in London to work together for the security of the United Kingdom, Ukraine, and Europe as a whole.
Okay, well, what about Russia, sir? Are you going to talk about the security of Russia? Why are you not concerned about that? It's the same continent, huh? First of all, like the whole European continent, the Europe is not really a continent. It's like they made up this imaginary line, you know, to split it, you know. And I heard one guy, he said this is about like white supremacy, and I could agree with him, because that's true. That like a definition of a continent is when you have like oceans on all sides. But if you look at the map of Europe, there's like three sides with oceans and waters, but like this other side is like Russia and China. So why this like this imaginary line? Who put it there? like so Russia and China are part of the Euro-Asian type of continent. That's the entire continent, right? Anyway, that's just like a side rant.
Through my discussions over recent days, we've agreed that the UK, France, and others will work with Ukraine on a plan.
Well, that's the entire continent. There's only Ukraine, there's only England, France, and Germany. That's all you have. Like, what are you gonna go to Estonia? What are you gonna go to Austria, to like motherfucking Yugoslavia? Those are irrelevant. They don't have that many manpower. They don't produce missiles. They don't produce tanks. So it's like, y'all talking about this Europe like it's like some huge fucking territory, but the reality is just like it's split, it's divided, it's uncoordinated with each other. Like y'all can't agree on anything, and now you got like all these arrogance that you're coming up with.
Plan to stop the fighting. Then we'll discuss that plan with the United States and take it forward together. The purpose of today's meeting was to unite our partners around this effort, to strengthen Ukraine, and to support a just and enduring peace for the good of all of us. Our starting point must be to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position now, so that they can negotiate from a position of strength, and we are doubling down in our support. Yes,
sir, they never been in a position of strength. The moment they align themselves with you, they always been weak. We've seen the consequences of that. They've been losing the war for like the three years. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you seem to be confused.
Yesterday evening, the UK signed a £2.2 billion loan to provide more military aid to Ukraine, backed not by the British taxpayer, but by the profits from frozen Russian assets.
Okay, sir. First of all, this entire thing about this Russian asset and seizing asset, you're not supposed to do that. First of all, that's not your shit. And you specifically, like England, y'all got a history of like going all over the world trying to take everything from everybody. Like, aren't you tired of like taking stuff from everybody else? I can go to London right now to go to a museum and find stuff that you stole from Africa 200 years ago. Like, aren't you tired of this bullshit? Like, you went to the Caribbean, to the motherfucking Asia, to like India, you stole everything. Spices, rubber, ivory, gold, minerals, copper. Like, aren't you tired of taking people's stuff?
And today I'm announcing a new deal, which allows Ukraine to use £1.6 billion of UK export finance to buy more than 5,000 air defense missiles.
Ain't gonna do a damn thing. 5,000 air defense missiles ain't gonna do a damn thing. They're gonna be shut down. And then what are you gonna do next? You're gonna look like that. You're gonna be still like wearing a suit and trying to talk, oh well. For how long are you gonna keep doing this? Like, why aren't you tired? Why can't you just make a simple phone call rather than doing all these campaign, you know, this anti-Russia campaign? Why not just give him a call and try to make a deal? I'm pretty sure, I'm not Vladimir Putin, but I'm pretty sure if you call him, you will find something. You will come to an agreement. I mean, they're more civilized than you, so the only thing that's stopping, you know, the Western leaders in general, not him. This is not a personal attack. I have no dog in this fight. These motherfuckers are over here, like, it's the arrogance that's stopping them. You know, they can't get over the attitude of like, oh, we have to dictate the terms, and he's gonna talk about why it's not a good idea to make a deal with Russia before committing or implementing those plans. They're like strengthening Ukraine and all that, and ain't gonna do nothing. It's not gonna change the situation on the ground.
Which will be made in Belfast, creating jobs in our brilliant defence sector. This will be vital for protecting critical infrastructure now and strengthening Ukraine in securing the peace when it comes. Because we have to learn from the mistakes of the past. We cannot accept a weak deal like Minsk.
You don't learn anything from the past. That's what another problem that you have. You know, Western leaders, they never learn from the past. They just keep doubling down. And you just said it with your own words. You just said you're gonna double down on what you've been doing for the past 3 years. These things is getting absurd, you know.
Which Russia could breach with ease.
Okay, well, that Minsk agreement that you're talking about, maybe make a phone call to the United States administration and talk to them. Maybe they'll tell you something about who breached that agreement.
Instead, any deal must be backed by strength. Every nation must contribute to that in the best way that it can, bringing different capabilities and support to the table, but all taking responsibility to act, all stepping up their own share of the burden. So we agreed some important steps today. First,
okay, let's hear the important steps, sir. I'm excited for
we will
that.
keep
Go
the
ahead.
military aid flowing and keep increasing the economic pressure on
Okay,
Russia.
so we're just gonna keep flowing. So nothing's changed actually. They're just the same bullshit. Keep sending more
To
money.
strengthen Ukraine now.
Okay.
Second, we agreed that any lasting peace must ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and security, and Ukraine must be at the table. Third,
Sir, what about Russia? Can you tell us something about Russia? It shouldn't be on the table. Somehow you are gonna make all these talks. You're gonna make all these convention and speeches and campaign. You know, you're gonna be running all these aid, producing missile. You know, doing all that. But one thing that you refuse to do is just make a phone call to the president of Russia and talk. This is the people that you're fighting. I mean, how insane is it to just keep repeating doing the same stuff and expecting a different results? Sir, you've tried that. First of all, you're talking like you still have the US as an ally. They're throwing the whole conflict and Ukraine under the bus, right? So now you're talking about this. I mean, they come up with a crazy idea. I already watched the video, so I don't want to spoil it.
in the event of a peace
Oh
deal,
my God!
we will keep boosting Ukraine's own defensive capability to deter any future invasion.
Well, you can
Fourth,
have peace.
we will go further to develop a coalition of the willing to defend.
Listen to this bullshit. They're gonna develop a coalition of the willing. A willing to the what? I mean, can you specify exactly what are you gonna be willing to go to? World War III? You're gonna be willing to destroy the European continent? Like, what are you willing to do? Like, I'm confused. Like, this is the first time I've heard about this coalition. And they seem to be like, oh, well, you know, we have partner. What partners? I mean, this is the people that are leading you to the destruction. And y'all keep talking about immigrants and shit. Look at what you elected. This is insanity. I mean, I don't even have the words to describe what I'm hearing.
A deal in Ukraine and to guarantee the peace. Not every nation will feel able to contribute, but that can't mean that we sit back. Instead, those willing will intensify planning now with real urgency. The UK is prepared to back this with boots on the ground and planes in the air, together with...
This guy is going to send you die. He just said boots on the ground. He's going to send you. You English people are going to die. You're going to die. Not even for your country. For some country, for a whole like region, hundreds of miles away from you. Wow.
Others. Europe must do the heavy lifting. But to support peace in our continent and to succeed, this effort must have strong US backing. We're working with the US on this point after my meeting with President Trump last week. And let me be clear, we agree with the President on the urgent need for a durable peace. Now, we need to deliver together. Finally, we agreed that leaders will meet again very soon to keep the pace behind these actions and to keep working towards this shared plan. We are at a crossroads in history today. This is not a moment for more talk.
Wow.
It's time to act, time to step up and lead, and to unite around a new plan for a just and enduring peace. Thank you.
Wow. This guy is gonna send you to die. And see, like 5-10 minutes he's been talking, nothing is important have been said. More missile, so-called coalition of the willing to do what exactly? We don't know exactly what that means. He said something about partners. He's still talking about the US like it's going to be like a reliable ally. I told you, white people do not have friends. You can't be friends with America. That's the biggest terrorist organization on the planet. I mean, you two are like part of that. But like, I mean, I don't have any like, you know, type of commentary. I mean, I want to react to it. I mean, just to show you like what's going on, like the whole insanity. I don't know how this is very dangerous, right? See, at least America. See, America, the difference. I would prefer America to lead this conflict, and I'm gonna tell you, even I think they're awful and criminals. The reason is that they had this period in the 80s and the 90s and also the early 2000s where they started this conflict and they were fueling money from the military industrial complex to the pocket of the rich elite, etc. So that was the reason, you know, they were just fueling the money, you know, going from the poor to the rich, right? And that was the only cause. I mean, it has nothing to do with skin color. It has nothing to do with religion or weapons of mass destruction. None of that shit was accurate information. But now they have found something else, which is called a financialization of the economy. So now they don't have to produce weapons and start a conflict somewhere else. They have found other ways to make money, to transfer money from the poor to the rich, because that was always the plan. They have found this thing. I mean, it's a long topic. It's complicated. I don't want to go through the details. But see, now they're not going to do it. That's why you don't see them like engaging in Palestine. They don't engage in Sudan, etc. Right? So they are past that period of time where they have to create conflict and fuel money from the military and all that, through the military. That's what I was trying to say. And I prefer that format because at least it's more peaceful. But these motherfuckers, I think they fantasize about the past. They want to go back to the period of like you know, I don't even have to describe it. You know what period, you know, that barbarism, that savagery they had, like these major conflict, hundreds of millions of people. I think they missed that period. And if I'm in the United Kingdom right now, I'll just escape. Dude, this is serious. Like, I'm not trying to be like controversial, or like trying to be shock you or anything. I mean, this is just like anyway, that's my take on it. See you next time.